Our everyday conversations are often littered with sayings and phrases that have been passed on from generation to generation. But have you ever stopped to think about where these sayings came from and how they originated? Well, that is the question I aim to answer in today's video with the origins of 10 such sayings. Before I get into the video though, I just want to say I hope you all had a Merry Christmas and wish you a Happy New Year. But with that intro out the way, let's get straight into the video. This saying, often used to refer to someone willfully ignoring a certain thing, traces its origins to the legendary British naval hero Horatio Nelson. It is said that during the Battle of Copenhagen in 1801, Nelson's ships were pitted against a larger Danish-Norwegian fleet. Upon seeing this, his more conservative superior officer flagged for him to withdraw. However, the one-eyed Nelson supposedly brought his telescope to his bad eye and proclaimed, "I really do not see the signal," going on to win a decisive victory and marking the beginnings of this common saying. The origins of this next saying, which is usually used to describe a fake or superficial display of sadness, go back much earlier than the previous inclusion. It is believed that this saying derives from the medieval belief that crocodiles shed tears or sadness while they killed and consumed their prey, which we now know today is obviously not the case. This myth dates back as far as the 14th century and eventually made its way into the works of Shakespeare, resulting in crocodile tears becoming a common saying as early as the 16th century. Today, this saying, which is actually the title of a movie if I'm not mistaken, means someone with a strong dedication to a particular set of beliefs, or in a more modern sense, someone who is a very dedicated fan of a sports team or TV show, for example. This saying, however, has a much darker and more literal origin, as the saying first came to use in the 1700s and was used to describe condemned men who struggled the longest when they were executed by hanging. The phrase later became even more popular after the 1811's Battle of Albuera during the Napoleonic Wars, when in the midst of the fight, a wounded British officer named William Inglis supposedly urged his unit forward by yelling, "Stand your ground and die hard, make the enemy pay dear for each of us." His regiment would actually go on to suffer a whopping 75% casualty rate during the battle, earning it the nickname of the Diehards. I have actually already covered this one in my favourite history facts video, but for those of you who haven't seen that one, this saying, which usually means to just get something difficult or unpleasant over and done with rather than delaying, originated sometime between the 18th and 19th centuries when, during the heat of battle, when there was no time to administer anaesthetic or if it had not been invented yet, doctors would tell wounded soldiers to bite down on a literal bullet in order to help cope with the pain. This next inclusion, which usually means someone who loses their nerve or backs off from doing something such as getting married, for example, similarly to the last saying, is believed to have originated from the military, as men whose feet had frozen or become too cold due to extreme temperatures would be unable to charge into battle or take a large part in any fighting. This saying, which pretty much just means to feel sick or unwell, is believed to have originated due to when sailors were feeling ill, they would go beneath the bow of the ship in the hopes that this would protect them from the bad conditions on deck. This meant that the sailor would literally be under the bad weather that could further sicken him, leading to the adoption of this widespread saying. This phrase, which means to circle around the point or avoid the point of a conversation, is thought to have originated in response to game hunting in Britain. While hunting birds, participants would beat bushes in order to draw out said birds. Therefore, they were beating around the bush in order to get to the main point of the hunt, actually catching the birds. This inclusion, which means to go straight for something, I beeline towards my car for example, is believed to have originated due to an old belief that bees flew in a straight line to their hive, which, like the crocodile tears thing, is obviously not actually true. This phrase, which usually is used to refer to or in some cases insult people from very wealthy families, is believed to date back to sometime during the early 1500s when historically wealthy families would usually own silverware, including spoons, as a sign of their high status and wealth. The last inclusion on this list, which means to reduce tension or awkwardness between two people who have never met before, is believed to have a quite literal origin and came from the 18th century when special ice-breaking ships were sent ahead of the main vessels to break the ice and clear the path in cold waters. Well, that's going to be the end of the video. There are countless more sayings I could have included in this list, so if you'd like me to make a part 2, please do let me know in the comments, as I enjoyed making this one. If you did enjoy this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you'd like to see more content from me. But with all that being said, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you all have a great day, night, wherever you are, and hope to see you in the next one.